Alright guys, can't hear anything you're saying. I hope you can hear me. Steve's getting on the hedge cutting today. So we've got this left-hand hedge. And I'll see if I can show you. There's holly, there's hawthorn, privet. This stuff sticking out the most is privet. And then we've got ivy. We've got all sorts in here. It's quite long as well. It goes all the way to the end of the garden. It's a long garden. We'll get this cut back and then I'll do the lawn and I'll show you what the lawn looks like at the end. It's pretty full. It's getting full after about 2 lengths, sometimes halfway in between. So just empty it out. It means you're not dropping so much grass and it's just a lot neater and tidier. Tricky just using one hand, but doable. Practice. Turn around is tricky. By it, and Steve's making good progress. There we go, we'll probably be full again. See, yeah, pretty much. Wouldn't take much more. Empty it out. We're going to struggle for space in the bin today because all that hedge waste, all the hedge cuttings will need to go in. Show you what I'm doing. You can see it's got a bit wobbly, this line. So under the roses. Getting spiked by it, but some pretty big thorns, and it hangs out across the line. So nice rose hips though, and Steve making good progress on the hedge. So anyway, I'm going to keep mowing with 2 hands and then we'll show you what it looks like at the end. Oh, alright guys, I was really tempted to do this, but I stopped myself. And this is something you should never do yourselves, no matter how tempted you are. But you can run the mower over the cuttings, but it can mess it up, and it does. I've had it happen to me. Little bits of stick will get stuck in there and mess it up, and you'll regret doing it in the end. So we're gonna hand rake it up and just take the time and do it properly. And I haven't mowed under there yet, so once it's all tidied up, I'll mow, and you can mow over, you know, that's a bit unmessy with the leaves, but get the main bulk up. So we'll keep tidying. All right, so we've picked up all the stuff. I had to make a little pile in the back. Might be able to show you in a bit, with some excess we just couldn't fit in the bin, and the bin's up there and overflowing. So I'll take you along with me anyway, so you can see it. Show you what I do. Bump it with my hip to get the handle back up. Take the last little bits up with the mower, if there are any around. Today we're stealing the time so we can do the hedge instead. So this side is nice and neat. We've kept as much as we can on the top because the customer's always trying to maintain the height. We've made it nice and neat on the side where it was all sticking out. And next time we'll be doing this side. And it feels as though there's a lot more to this side, but we'll see. There's some hawthorn up here, some big old spikes. This is hawthorn, but it's got no spikes, it's new growth. Yeah, see the older growth here's got the spikes. So that's interesting, spikes grow on older growth. Didn't realise that about the hawthorn, although there is some new growth here and you can see the spikes. Spikes there. It's absolutely lethal. They can grow up to about 1 inch long. This is a lilac. There's all sorts in this hedge. There's a tree. Holly. It's got its berries on already. They'll go red in time for Christmas. Another tree. I think I'll probably have to bring my chainsaw to get some of these thick branches now. And then another lilac. Never seen it flower though. And this will go down. The rose bush. And then a bit more beyond, there's a privet back there. So it's got a bit of everything, this garden. Then I'll show you how full the bin is. Often it is the bin that can limit our work, but also the time that we're at a place. We'll do maybe either 3/4 of an hour or an hour here, depending. Nice and full. And when I was touching the handle, I was getting spiked a bit, so we'll look after the bin men and tuck that in so they don't get spiked. Okay, we'll take this out the front and we're done. All right, guys, can't hear what you're saying, but it's raining, and we are, look, you can see the city there. We are forecast thunderstorms, and I have heard a little bit of a rumble, so it's only going to get worse from here, we think, for the day. Heavy rain and showers and thunder, so we'll see what we can do. And then when it gets too wet, it's just no good. The mower won't pick up the grass, and then you just get wet through and miserable. So we're just gonna, yeah, get to a point where we're too wet to work, basically, and we're forced off the job and see how far we get. I'm just going to get the bin, the green waste bin, but we've done sort of, what's that, about maybe a third or a quarter so far, and the rain's holding off, so it's just spitting a bit. It can be quite localized, and it might take a little while for the proper showers to get near us if it's the front coming in. But Steve's blowing out the front, and he blows the leaves onto the grass. The grass acts as Velcro, and we mow them up. Two bins, so one there, and you need them in leaf season because there's a massive tree up there. It's a big one. When that starts shedding, you need the two bins, and we normally blow through here and tidy it all up. So now I've got my bin near me, I can mow and empty out a bit quicker and easier. And we'll see how we get on with this rain. And pretty dull skies. Alright, it's coming down a bit heavier now. I'm under a little bit of shelter under a tree, but it's getting wet, so I'll just run out and show you the lawn and try and cover the camera. Here we go. You can see it's pooling on the floor. It's getting quite heavy, the rain. We're not wet through yet. You can see here where it starts to come out. There we go. That's their drain pipe, and it's nice actually because it feeds down here and onto their grass and not just down a drain, which I think is much better for everyone really, because it's not going to be surging the sewers or help adding to it. Anyway, let's get on, come on, let's get on. Got to do the front still. I'll put you back in the case. Alright, just finishing up the front, and done the lawn. Steve's still weeding up there. There's some nice roses out still, and some flowers, some Japanese anemones. I may as well show you them. But you look, nice neat job on the weeding on these, and the rain's calmed down a bit. It's just at a steady, just a steady drizzle really, and where it was a bit stronger, it's calmed down a bit now. And these are nice, these roses. No, it's pretty rubbish weeding in the rain. Japanese anemones, and then more roses. Oh, there's more roses still. So these have continued quite late. Oh, this is nice. It's got some very nice structure to it, very sharp compared to the other roses. It's difficult to describe. Very crisp leaves. Oh wow, and these are just coming out. So when we cut them back after they'd first flowered, you cut them back to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the first 5-leaf node, and then they come back later in the year, but it's quite late. I thought, for roses, but very nice, very late summer plant to have. In fact, it's actually, I'd say it's autumn now, because the leaves have only just started to drop, some of the early leaf droppers. So welcome to autumn. See you at the next garden. Alright guys, so the rain continues, but we're not wet through yet, so we're just going to carry on and be damp. So we've done halfway through this lawn, and we just go around the side, have a look. Ooh, it's looking all right. This is the one that we reseeded, and look, it's looking amazing. You can see it's a slightly darker colour for where we reseeded it, and along the back as well. It's the odd little patch where it hasn't quite taken, but it's because there's a load of wood chip in there. It doesn't quite like it. You can see there's bits where it's gone yellow, but it'll establish itself. You can see a load of bindweed trying to come through, but we just mow over it and it doesn't like it. So yeah, well, as it establishes itself more over autumn and comes into spring, it'll thicken up. But we'll see. We'll have to see how it progresses. I know they've put the house up for sale, but it's a slow market. I don't know if it'll sell, so anyway, I'll show you what it looks like after. So that weather system's blown over. I'm just on the way back to the car, but that's the front. Got some nice sweeping lines going off to the left, which look quite nice. Just going to get some fuel. Oh, looks like Steve's putting some 2-stroke in the blower as well. Need some more petrol for the mower. So we'll fill it up. It's just ran out, it's dry in the tank. Often we do check periodically and before, but because it's been a bit wet, I've just been getting on with it. Right, anyway, I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. Well, would you believe it, we've got a bit of sunshine now, so blue skies everywhere. It's all blown over. But this is striped up nicely because it's really quite wet still, so it's looking good. Wouldn't normally stripe this well because there's a lot of rye in here. So time to get out of here. There's a bird of prey that's caught a pigeon and landed in our garden. See it over there, just taking off. It's seen me coming and flown away. There it is, flying away. Shall we have a look at the pigeon? It's in the, oh wow, cool. It was interesting seeing it in the middle of the lawn. It looked like it was trying to pin it down. Anyway, it's flown away. We'll give it its catch back.